What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the World Pass. If you're new here, thank you for joining us. We talk about football from the biggest transfer to honest debate and bold prediction. I'm your host today, Temi, and today I'm joined by a bunch of wonderful guests. I will start with Napo on Man City Q. You want to give a brief introduction?
Yes, sir. As always, this is Napoleon with Man City Q, the only four-peat winner, in the league. Nice to have, nice to be part of you guys
All
for the
right,
evening.
all right, all right, all right. We have Nathaniel.
Nathaniel here, Arsenal fan. Nice to be back on here again. Thank you guys for having me back on here. Looking forward to the discussions for today and the banter.
All right, all right. So we have a new guest today with us, Kachi.
Yeah, man. It's catchy. Man United fan, the best club in the world. And I'm looking forward to discussing football with you guys.
All right, all right. And last but not the least, the doctor himself, Dr. Ken.
Yeah, this is Dr. Ken 1591, Arsenal fan, current Premier League champion. Let's go.
All right. If you enjoyed these episodes, the episodes we'll be pulling out or today's episode, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's know your opinion in the comments because football is all about debate. Quick warm-up questions. Let's go. What is the biggest story that happened this week that have shocked you guys? Or the biggest story that happened in the last few weeks? Because I think we had a break. The World Cup FIFA is over. So I'll probably start with Napo.
I think, if anything, I would say the one thing that really shocked me is Man City selling Tigianis for 60 plus million. At 29 years old, that is big cash. And we bought him for like 50 mil, I believe. So we made a profit. He got older, but we made a profit. So props to Man City on that.
All right. Nathaniel.
Yeah, to be honest, I was thinking because not much in the past week, but Napo was really right. I think Tijani Randerson was a shocker to me because he had a great time at AC Milan. I was expecting much from him in the Premier League, but I don't really think he got enough opportunity under Guardiola. But I didn't imagine him going to Saudi. I think he's such a good player that he can be pivotal to different big teams across Europe. So that was a very shocking move for me, I would say. Definitely Tijani Randers as well as of this recent week for sure. Big shocker there.
Kachi.
Yeah, same thing. I think I would agree with Napo right there. Spot on. Rander's deal. Sometimes it also makes me want to suspect Man City. There's some shady stuff going on somewhere. How do you send a player down to Saudi Arabia for 60 million? Who's paying that money, man? And
They're
also
paying
Man
themselves.
United. Yeah, exactly. Money is just, cleaning up some money for some rich folks. But yeah, I also think Man United losing to their former manager, it's a big story. Definitely. The manager who they said wasn't good enough, is coming back, understanding the players he coached. And we were completely outplayed today as well. So that was quite surprising. This has been our worst preseason game so far. I thought it was really boring. But yeah.
By the way, I thought you said you guys are the best team in the world. And you lost
we're still
to your previous coach.
We're still the best team, maybe not on the football pitch, but globally, and the fans, we have the best fan base in the world, undeniable.
It's no longer by the trophies anymore, it's by the fans.
So
if we want to go back to our trophy cabinet, we can have that discussion too,
No.
We haven't done it in 3 years.
See, it's changing from meaning trophies now to be having the biggest fan base.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
we'll
you
jump
guys are the newest champion, so take that. Yeah.
So we'll jump to Dr.
I mean, I in as much as I want to sit here and listen to a delusional Manchester United fan who has won the Premier League for the past 13 years. I mean, what do you expect? I would say my biggest news or the biggest shocker for me is going to be the Liverpool's takeover by Jeff Bezos. Right?
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
But it's a minority stake though. It's not.
Yeah,
No.
but
No, but it means a
it's
lot though.
it's I'm coming from the angle of Jeff Bezos, Amazon, and other businesses that he's running. No one saw this coming. I don't think anybody woke up walking into this season thinking Jeff Bezos is gonna go into sports. This is practically his first, adventure in sports, and
Right.
of all claw to
Liverpool.
pick is Liverpool, right? So that's my biggest news. My second biggest news will be Christian Romero, right? And the reason I say this is because I was thinking when the news floated around that Arsenal was interested in signing him, I was like, this is gonna be another good signing if we can pull it off, because one, he's a captain of Tottenham. He's a very good center back and I think a right back. He can play both sides. So, and if you look at what Arteta has been doing for the past 2-3 seasons, he's been buying captains, not just good players, but leaders, right? He took Declan Rice. He took what's his name? The new signing, Gomes, and he took Berechese, and then he took what was the last guy he took? Norgard. These are captains. These are men.
Cahavas. Men.
No,
Madueke. Men.
no. I'm saying, I mean, those are backups. I'm talking about people who are coming in to start the game. So
No,
I
Cahavas is not starting.
think no,
no.
you and I can agree that he's not starting. But anyway,
Wow.
yeah, those are the two biggest news. The fact that if you look at Tottenham's perspective, they are trying to build, right? They are building. They've had these beautiful signings, right, that came into the club, right, and then you're losing your captain. So I don't know.
You know what? Since I wanted to ask you a question. Remember, we're talking about what do you call this team, Liverpool, and how what do you call it? How Jeff Bezos have joined their club now in buying like a stake in there. If I can remember correctly, didn't this happen with LeBron James buying a stake there too? I thought he did.
Yeah,
He did.
LeBron did, but I mean, LeBron is small fish as compared to Jeff Bezos, right?
Okay.
You have to think about the partnerships that Amazon or Jeff Bezos has with multiple companies or enterprises out there. So
Sure.
on a grand scale, when you think about it, you can see things like maybe if sponsorship for like the jerseys or a certain area of the stadium, that's more money and more revenue that is going towards the team. So there's a lot of ways that this can definitely play out for the positive aspect for Liverpool. So
I have a follow-up question for you. The question I wanted to bring out is that why is it that Liverpool tend to sell their club in tiny bits? Like, what's the advantage of that? Like, anyone can jump
more
in on this point. Because
more
think about
money.
it. You think more money, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Because
think
then
so.
again, it's kind of hard. Is if you sell to one person, that person has the high chances of eventually owning majority of the shares, right? But if you're selling to multiple people, you have the mainstream income that is coming in, but at the same time, it's like everyone has like a certain role to play here and there based on what their money or their shares is being poured into. So in a grand scale, if you really think about it, I think it's better that way rather than just having one person that you're partnering with.
Wait 1 second. Kachi had something to say. I want to hear what he had to say.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
just
think?
think, for Liverpool, historically speaking, for many, Liverpool is also a cultural club in the grand scheme of things. So
True.
at the very onset from Liverpool, the fans have always had at least 50% of a stake. Even at some point, Man United were that way until we had these rogues, slowly buy the club until they bought the club 100%. And that's exactly what my player
Yeah.
with Liverpool's case as well. With Jeff Bezos coming in, this is how it starts. You buy 7%. then some lobbying happens, you buy another 20% a season later. It's who has whoever pays the best, would have the largest cake. So yeah,
Because
it's not good.
eventually,
It's not good for the fans because if you look at Liverpool are a well-structured team. Forget about what they've had in terms of managerial failures, but under
Right.
Klopp, Liverpool like well-structured. You don't see players messing up, like players going against the board and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't think it's anything for any Liverpool fan to be happy that we have a man like Jeff Bezos coming in to buy their team. It is not progress. As a businessman like Jeff Bezos he's buying a team to make himself some money. It's a
that
business.
is
Football
true.
is a business for them. So yeah.
Dr. Ken, you wanted to add something?
He took the words out of my mouth. I was gonna say like the long-standing history of Liverpool was all about it's a community club, right? So it's more about less about the money, more about financial security on the long term, right?
Right.
But then again, like he said, the fans contribute to that same a certain amount of stock percentage, right? But on the positive, I think the only positive I can think of is that the portfolio of Jeff Bezos and the market out there. I mean, nobody wants to compete with that man in terms of wealth, right? So if he's coming in to to put his money where his mouth is, then Liverpool will go toe to toe with the big boys. When I mean the big boys, I'm talking about the Real Madrid, right? They will be behaving like the Saudi clubs, the Man City, when Man City came into fold, right? But if they are going to behave like the Chelsea owners, then it will be more of business. What is my benefit for being part of Liverpool? And that's when you see Liverpool going in the decline.
All right.
Because when you start removing success from clubs, then that's when they start declining.
1 second, I have to correct this slander. I don't like the slander you just threw Chelsea into the mix because where did you see our owner pulling in profit? Like, let's be honest. You can't be putting billions up front if you want profit right away.
But another thing I was going to add to what Ken said, right? Look at Chelsea. Chelsea, they don't buy, they buy in bulk. That's what they've been doing for the last God knows how many years since your new owner took over. And in the aspect of business,
AliExpress FC.
right? That part. Or maybe Chelsea Timo.
See, what I know in this market is that you can laugh at your Chelsea, but Arsenal will still come and pick one of our players a season or two from
Hey,
today.
hey,
Man
for
City is already
sure.
trying to poach our players too.
You know what is
mean,
funny?
we
You know what
got
is
you
funny?
guys coach, so
You know what is funny?
What?
What is funny about Chelsea fans is that you sit here and say we poach your players. Well, guess what? Those players are Premier League champions. Anybody that goes to Man City has a guarantee. Like his future is more brighter than if he will be in Chelsea. So we are not poaching your players. Your players want to come to where they can win trophies.
I have this question for Nathaniel. I want to hear Nathaniel's opinion on this because I feel like of all the people here, is a little bit level-headed than most people in this panel. So I'd like to get his opinion. So okay, minus our newcomer Kachi, it seems relaxed too. Like maybe when we touch the man use topic, it might get a little bit heated. So like we always have rival fans, like rival Chelsea with the statement that Chelsea players are not good enough. Oh, they are trash. They're this. But then we turn around to see the transfer window of those top teams wanting Chelsea players. I can remember we've had arguments where you said, oh, Chelsea players can play. I think I had an argument like a few seasons ago where they say no Chelsea players can ever play in a Real Madrid. Then at least one have gone. They came for Cucurella. Cucurella was still in the same Chelsea. So what I'm trying to say is that Chelsea have top players. They do have top players. When you look at
I
their
don't agree
stats,
with you, Temi. That's not true.
let me finish. When you look at their stats, look at what they're about to play and what they can do. Let's just say minus the team performance might be trash, right? But on papers, if you like see those players and your team can buy them, they will buy them. It's just because they're in Chelsea now. People just want to I feel like it's a lot easier to banter Chelsea than most club in the world right now because it's sweet.
Right.
It is sweet because it started from what do you call it, billion pound bottler to what do you call it, Russian money. All those little, right, we've heard everything. Chelsea fans have heard all the insults in the book. Anyways, to cut
Really?
my story short, I'll let Nathaniel jump in and give his own opinion about this whole rant I went on.
So basically, you want to understand why big teams are still coming for these so-called trash Chelsea players.
Mhm.
I will say the reason number one is, as much as those players are trash, every manager have their system and what they try to play. And we as fans, we can, sit behind and, call these players whack or whatever we want to call them. But these coaches have an idea and a way they want to fit these players in their system that they feel is not working out at Chelsea. I'll give an example. An example is Madueke. When we were buying Madueke from Chelsea, I'm not a fan of that signing. I would never be a fan of the signing because I've always thought is one of those players that will never be consistent. Their priorities is different in terms of what they want to do. But how Arteta is looking at it, Arteta was never buying him to be a starter. He was buying him to be, because Madueke does not really have injury history. Madueke works hard, like running back and forth. And if there's anything you know about Arteta, once you're a hard worker, you have a 50% chance of entering inside his team. So because of that, that's an opportunity for Madueke to come to Arsenal because of his hard work. Same thing with Kai Havertz. Check for the players that Arteta goes for. Arteta goes for players that they put their blood and sweat on the pitch. Your ability might not be that great, but the fact that you have that part of you that you're always wanting to give your all to the team is a plus. So regardless of how bad these players, their performances are at Chelsea, these managers of these big teams are thinking about how they can fit them into that particular club system. And as well, they'll also account for the fact that they've seen these players be good. Like, for example, Madueke was good in Dutch league.
PSV.
He was
Yeah.
he was one of the top rated players there. Havertz was bought as one of the best talents that was coming into the world. Literally, they thought it was going to be, So the coaches are not judging them only based on Chelsea like we fans are doing. They are looking at it saying, this player was a top talent where they're coming from. So you cannot tell me all that talent has just disappeared. There's something here. So the way we fans look at football is not the same way these other big managers look at football. It's just a thing of it. I will never understand why coaches love Havertz so much. We fans can talk shit about Havertz. I will never rate him that much. But take a look at it. Every Germany coach plays him. At Chelsea, every coach that came in played him. Arteta loves him so much. That's why I was nodding my head when Ken was talking. I think Havertz is starting over Gyökeres because I don't think Gyökeres has done anything to earn that spot. Arteta he has favorites. The moment you're his favorite, you have to do so bad for him to knock you off. I think Havertz is going to start. So it's just one of those things. So I think that is why that happens in my own view. Yeah.
Let me add to what you're saying, right?
Okay.
In psychology, right? It's called recency bias, right? And you see that among soccer fans, right? Well, I won't say soccer fans, sports fans, right?
Yeah.
What recency bias means is we tend to focus on now.
Yeah.
We forget about
Right.
what you did in the past.
Yeah.
Right. So that's I agree 100% when Ajida said we are focusing on Chelsea players. Because we're the fans, we're looking at these guys played in Chelsea and they were trash, right?
Yeah.
But these scouts and coaches are professional. So their scouting network goes beyond what you have on Chelsea. They go with what is his growth? From where did he come from? And how did he end up here? They look at that profile. They look at a lot of things like personality. How does his character fit into this club? The club culture. Is he level-headed? Is he, like you said, Arteta looks for warrior mentality, right? Is he willing to work hard, right? So those are what we look at. But if you want to go by banter, right? How many of these Chelsea players have left Chelsea and are still top in any other place they've gone to?
Yeah.
The answer is none. The answer is none.
Exactly.
Wait,
So
you mean
if we go by banter,
was still to see Cucurella at Madrid, but I think
he might be an
Cucurella
exception. He might be an exception.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why he's an exception. This is why he's an exception. There is no competition for his spot in Real Madrid.
Yes and no.
No.
Yes and no.
Who is
Yes
his
and no.
competition?
And
Who is
the
his
only
competition?
no. It's not just that. Because think about it. When Trent went, did Trent really have any competition? Not really.
Thank you.
He
Because
did. Carvajal was
but
still there. He
Carvajal
was
is
just
old.
injury prone.
He barely played. He barely played though.
Yeah, his injury got the better of him, but he did
So
have a solid competitor right there.
yeah, but with or without the competition at the right back for Trent was zero. He didn't
Thank you.
live up to the hype. And so I think I was also going to add this, right? I think the fan base of football fans, they make things bigger and smaller than what it's supposed to be, right? But at the end of the day, it's like you said, Ken, it all comes down to that one factor. Are you going to perform? Because scouts, whenever they go scout a player, obviously they have a report. They gotta, add the players this, the players that, their height, work ethic, all these things, and then they take that, they bring it to the team and say, okay, this is the player's card. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it all comes down to that factor. Are you going to succeed after the hype or no hype, or are you not going to succeed?
It's a gamble. Nathaniel, we took a gamble on Gyökeres. You know why? Because of the stats behind him, right?
Of course.
But then he came to. There was still doubt, saying, "Is he going to replicate those numbers in Premier League?" I mean, he's been in Premier League before, and his numbers were not that high, right?
Yeah.
So we took a gamble. But then one thing I disagree with you about is him Havertz starting over Gyökeres, right? And you know why? You know why Gyökeres always start above Kai Havertz? 90 minutes. Go and look at all the Arsenal games that Gyökeres has played. 90 minutes, he never stopped running. He never stopped attacking those defenders. He's not good with the ball.
Yeah.
He's not going to dribble and, give you that one amazing, burst out of run. But one thing is, as long as he's in that field, he's going to be on the defender's toe from start to finish.
For sure.
But let me just, I'm going to contradict what you said, right? I get that part, but I'm not going to pay 90 million for a striker that is just going to run throughout the game.
Bam.
I mean, I'm comparing what we have. I'm not saying it's ideal, right?
All I'm saying is, if I'm going to spend 90 million on a striker, you got to score, right? I need that return investment. Yes, eventually, and I think that's where Arsenal is really lacking in some sense, because with we've seen it so much. Gyökeres is making those runs. They're not crossing the ball.
We don't play to his strengths. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's a coaching thing. That's why I don't blame Gyökeres. I've had this conversation with people a lot. It's a system thing. I was surprised when I saw his profile that we went for that, because that's not how Arteta likes to play his striker to play.
He plays more of a link-up striker.
Yeah, he likes to link up strikers. It was a very odd buy, and you can tell because Gyökeres should not be running channels. He should not be running the lines. He's not that player on the ball. You need to feed him. Watch Haaland in City. Haaland, are you seeing Haaland running channels on the left, to the right, to the left, to the right? He's in the box to score. We don't play to his strengths. Is where my issue is why Havertz will start. And it's just one of those where you got it wrong. But
that's not true. That's not true. We just have to accept the fact that Gyökeres is not just for Arsenal to go to the next stage. Gyökeres is just not the guy. And it's the truth.
Yeah, he's not.
I watched. See, to be honest, I watched just a few days ago. I watched the compilation of Drogba hold up play on Instagram, and I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot name any striker that can do this in the Premier League right now. Every top team in the Premier League that wants to aspire to win the Champions League, your attacking players have to be really good ball players. Not just even a killer, but you're because Gyökeres, at best, he's a good goal scorer. If you give him half a chance, he'll take it. Yeah. But Gyökeres is not just that type of player that can change the game for you. I don't think he's that type of player. I just don't think so. We watched him a lot. Guess what? We watched him a lot in Portugal. But over there in Portugal, he had a lot of space to play the football. In Premier, I watched him for the first time against you. When Arsenal played Man United last season, you know, I watched delete Mark Gyökeres all game. He had a stinker.
Yeah.
The first game
Yeah.
of the Premier League last season, he had a stinker. He was marked out.
games.
So if you have a good defender on Gyökeres,
He's
I
gone.
mean, he's gone. He's gone. Gyökeres wouldn't give you, like, for example, I want to call it. This is going to be a little controversial. Ex-player of Man United, Anthony Martial, very, very good ball player. Gyökeres doesn't come close.
That is the childhood profile. That's the kind of profile.
No. This is one thing. I may be a Man City fan, but one thing about me is there's a level of disrespect you will give to a player. There's no way you call Anthony Martial and try to say Gyökeres is not a player. Come on now, bro.
No, in terms of
For
ball
real.
playing, you
Play,
just have
ball
to be
play.
honest.
He didn't say goal scoring.
We just have to be
I
honest.
will
Martial
agree
is a
with
better
him.
ball
I will agree
player.
with him. You need to actually go and watch
1000%. Go and watch
Marshall. Marshall is a
man.
baller.
He's a
Marshall is a
baller,
baller.
man. He just
Martial
the
was a
system wasn't
baller,
there. The
Yeah.
system wasn't
Man.
there for him to succeed at United. Martial won the
Man,
young best player
Yeah.
award.
At that
in his
night,
prime.
He was
good, man.
I would rank him, coming off.
Mbappe level, bro.
Yeah, he was
fucking good, man.
giving the Mbappe
explosive, man.
vibe when he was
Before
like
Mbappe,
16.
before he was
Yeah.
doing
carrying
Mbappe, before Mbappe.
United for 2 seasons. He was
For
carrying
years. When we had them, we had to play him at the wing, playing back
I just
on
don't know what
strike.
happened to his career, but yeah,
No,
he
the way
was.
he felt
was
was very poor, man.
I saw his news recently. I was just like, damn.
He's a free agent right now.
That's
Just how the mighty has fallen. So I think for me, as a fan, as a football fan, I don't think Arsenal need to sort of go out there and we've missed the times when Arsenal used to have strikers like Van Persie.
Henry.
I can last 5.
To be honest,
as a fan, I think Aubameyang is better than Gyökeres.
Yes,
What do you guys think of that? Aubameyang is better than
100%.
Gyökeres.
100%.
100%.
So, and I might
I
even
think
say maybe even
Aubameyang is the last.
Lacazette, in his day, Lacazette too is also a good striker.
Lacazette said
To
it.
be honest with you,
On his
to be honest with you, I will pick Lacazette over Aubameyang,
Really?
and I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
I'll
Lacazette
tell
on
you
his
why.
day is...
Let me tell you why. I'm not saying Lacazette is a better striker. I'm saying I'll pick him over Aubameyang in an Arsenal setup, and this is why.
Arsenal setup?
Yeah, in an Arsenal setup, Lacazette is a better link-up player
Yeah, I
than
agree.
Aubameyang. Aubameyang is not a link-up player. Aubameyang is a finisher. His job is to run,
And
get
his
the ball,
movement to the box
outfit
is
you, and
better.
finish.
Yeah.
Bro,
Right?
have you seen that man
Not when it
play?
comes to finishing, but when you look at Lacazette's gameplay, Lacazette is that type of striker that comes in, links up a play with you, and finish.
Yeah.
I was
So
just
in
watching.
an Arsenal setup, I would choose Lacazette.
Yeah,
You-
100%.
I was just
yeah,
watching
better
Aubameyang. What was it, like 2 days ago? His highlight, bro. That guy's like 30-something years old, and this man is still balling out.
Yes.
That's crazy.
All right. So I do have a question.
But yeah, Temi, going back
Oh.
to Chelsea, allow me to talk about what you started about Chelsea. I feel really bad for you guys. Many years ago, me
There
and
we-
you had
there we
a
go.
discussion. We had a discussion, and I told you that Chelsea are going to be in the mud for a while. After
Here we go.
Abramovich was forced to sell that club, people forget about the structure. The structure of Chelsea has changed a lot in the last 5-6 years since the club was sold. I feel like Chelsea actually lost their soul because Abramovich was, a guy who he actually loved the club. There were times
He wanted to win. He was a winner.
When
He
I
wanted
when
to
I
win.
watch some ex-Chelsea players, sometimes when at Chelsea loses the game, he flies down in a helicopter. Come talk to those boys, man. What's going on? Whatever it is that you want. Was it not his son that bought Fernando Torres? On that, what I'm trying to say is look at the way Man United has been run in the last 10 years. I think this is what Chelsea are going to be in for, especially considering how much the new owner has invested. Chelsea has spent a lot of money. People are forgetting that Chelsea used to have the likes of Ziyech, Lukaku. In the new era, when Lukaku, Ziyech, Mason Mount, they bought Badiashile, Bakayoko. players like, they just spend money. Like, I feel like what I've seen with Man United in the last 10, 30, 15 years is exactly what Chelsea are just replicated. And I think you guys are going to be in for a while. This season, though,
right.
you guys are going to do well. Maybe because of that, no European football. You have that.
Nathaniel and
No.
Napoleon, I like how we just sat and let Man U and Chelsea just,
Really?
dilly-dally themselves, look at themselves in the mirror and
I mean,
question the,
All right.
question the
isn't it
reality.
funny?
Let me.
Isn't it funny? It's funny that it's coming from a Manchester United fan.
They're
No,
looking at
because
each other.
we've
and
lived
they're
it. We've
I'm
lived
not.
it.
So
I'm not
so
judging. I'm not
Hey,
judging.
We've lived
You
it.
know what I mean?
We've lived it. We've lived it, man. We've lived it.
Hey,
No,
you're
we've
still living
experienced
it.
it.
You're still living it. You're still
No.
experiencing it.
They're
so
brighter
now
days ahead.
let me break it down for you as a Chelsea fan, right? The way I look at it. Like as soon as the whole Russian war and the Ukraine stuff happened and whatnot, right? And like they were forced to take out the owner of the club. It's very unfortunate, as sometimes I always believe that politics should not be brought into the game itself. Like I do believe you can make your stand, like you can like protest, but forcing players out or forcing things out, I just believe you're crossing the line into the sport. Let the sport be sport, and maybe do your sanctions or whatever outside. Fair enough. It was forced out. I think initially when these new owners came, they thought, especially Togboli, he thought he could run it like how sports were being run in America, where you just need to draft the brightest talents immediately or the top talent. And that's what he did. But he forgot, or he doesn't know that football is totally different from how it is done here in North America, where you draft players. Because if you think about it, in NBA, for example, the NBA, you want to draft those guys that are straight out from high school that are the top talent. Quick, you want the best
Right.
in your team because that's how your team will progress. Well, soccer is different. I used to use this analogy with people like soccer players always age like fine wine because you need time, you need experience. They need to play under people that understand the game. Like I'll give you a good example with Arsenal fan. You know, there was a time that Arsenal fans used to boo their captain. What do you call his name? Xhaka that year. But who is it now? He went to Bayer Leverkusen. He won that incredible season. He was one of the one of the strong players in that midfield that helped them win that trophy to get it off.
Yes.
Let me finish. Like what I was trying to say is that what I can see is I get that people say that we are on the same trajectory like Man United at the moment. But I also have to say that on a different note, our owners are listening. I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why, the reason why. Man U's owners have still been the same owners. They still did the same thing they were doing for the past 10 years. They've been doing the same thing. And people have been saying, the people have been pointing out what the wrong things they've been doing. But now, look at the Chelsea owners. People pointed out that, this young talent that you guys are playing is not working. You need to buy experience too. What did they do this season? It's obvious. They listened. They got a good coach.
What did they do?
They bought experienced players. At least they are not going to play, but at least they're going to impact. They're going to impact knowledge. I'll give you a good example of an experienced player that changed Chelsea. That was before this whole situation happened, when we brought in Thiago Silva.
I was just about to call his name too.
Here we go.
When we brought in Thiago Silva,
Here we go.
he was old. Like people are like,
Hold on.
This
Apart
man is
from-
gonna
call,
call
call me
Thiago
another
Silva.
call me another
Thank
another
you.
name apart
Handicap
from
him.
Thiago
Handicap
Silva.
him. You've
No,
been
hold on.
handicapped.
Call
No,
another name.
I'm just using it as an example
No,
because
I know, but
before then,
call another
I'll
name.
I'll tell you a reason why I can't call another name, because before then we had experienced players in the team.
Do you know why Napoleon is telling to call another name?
Why?
When you're talking about changing, listening, when you talk about your board listening,
Yes.
it means you're effecting change, right?
Okay.
Now, you don't go buy Thiago Silva because he's available and bring him to Chelsea, and that's the only experience you have. And then you
But
think
that's
they're
the thing.
listening.
That was the thing.
That's
Thiago
what
Silva
was available
wasn't.
for you.
But Thiago Silva wasn't bought in the new era.
Yeah,
with
yeah. So
Ogbole.
that was no.
Thiago Silva was
That's
still
what I said.
brought
That's
in,
what I said.
But I was just
Yeah,
using
that's
that
what I
as an
said. Thiago
example of an
Silva.
experienced player that brought Cam into Chelsea.
Yeah, but he's
Then,
one though. He's one though, and that's
But-
because he was available for you. You have no other option. You have no other option. And mind you, before Thiago Silva, you didn't know they had Koulibaly. Did you
we
know?
have Koulibaly now.
Exactly.
No.
He's still
Koulibaly was
experienced.
after.
He's still experienced.
Was
Okay,
after.
that's what I'm saying. After Thiago
So
Silva, you had Koulibaly.
Koulibaly was more of
Even
what do
Mendy
you call
was
it?
there now.
What do you call it? Koulibaly, Mendy, they were
Rudiger
all
and
top.
all those people.
They were all
Yeah.
top. They were all top bullies by. I'm not talking of top bullies by. I'm talking of when experience brought Cam into Chelsea's
So
defense.
our question is
Okay, what's the question?
what is the proof? What is the proof? No, my question to you is what is the proof that you
bringing
think
experience?
your board actually listened to you? Because don't tell me
okay, let's look at
Henderson.
this.
Don't tell me Henderson and don't tell me Welbeck.
So why? So they don't bring anything on the table. They are
We're
just
talking about. Do you know? Ask Kachi why Mayu decided to part ways with Casemiro. Ask him. He's going to tell you, right?
Okay, now I don't know. I like that. I like how you bring Casemiro.
You're playing in a Premier League that is fast paced with a lot of energy and intensity. You in as much as you need the experience, you also need young players that will guarantee longevity, right?
Okay.
You shouldn't be buying players that are declining, and you want to compete and you want to show the likes of Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool that you're a serious contender as well with them, right? And your spine, the spine of your midfield, are a bunch of 34-year-olds, right?
But
there is nothing Henderson is going to bring to Chelsea. There is absolutely nothing he's going to bring to Chelsea that Enzo and the Tog you guys have in the midfield. What's his name? Casedo, right?
This is my sector.
There is nothing. I'm being honest with you. There is nothing Henderson wants to teach Caicedo and Enzo, right? Then you talk about Welbeck, right? I can guarantee you right now that Welbeck is going to be used in Chelsea the way Arteta used Norgard. He's going to play maximum of 2 to 3 Premier League games in the whole season, right? So what experience are you really teaching? What are you going to teach Pedro? What's your striker?
All right.
What's your striker?
Now, let me before you go.
What's your current striker? What's your current striker?
It's João Pedro. Now, no one can depose him.
Who else? Who's your second? Who's your second choice?
The Lab. We have the Lab right now.
Is he still in Chelsea or you're about to sell him?
We'll see when the season starts.
Okay.
We'll know.
Okay, let's assume
we don't know.
Let's assume it's Pedro, the Lab, and Jackson, right?
No. We still have Emega too.
No. I'm not talking about academy or fringe players. I'm talking about let's say Pedro gets injured now. Who's going to come in?
The Lap is going. So we don't know what Alonso is playing yet.
Okay.
We don't know what Alonso is playing yet.
The point I'm making is Henderson and Welbeck are not going to contribute anything to Chelsea. They are just backup players. That's what I'm saying.
So now I beg to differ in where you come there, right? Because when I say experienced players, right? Experience doesn't have to be on the field.
I agree.
We know that this game is a fast game. You need the young, the experience. You need the young and the fast and whatever you say. But you also have to say that Chelsea has had so many issues in the past that have come to like players speaking out of terms, fighting for penalties. What do you call it? Media blunders, all those little things. Red card here and there. When you have an experienced player in your team, or in your core, that's telling you like, yo, I've won everything. All these things you are doing is not necessary. It's hurting the team. It's like saying, if person we don't live past experience, they tell you things. Won't you listen? It necessarily doesn't have to be on your field or play on that field. But the fact that he's just there, like saying, yo, but like you know what? Let's say, for example, Alonso is pissed at Caicedo for a mistake he made, right? He says it, talk, Banter, says everything, insults him. Everybody goes. Anderson, as an experienced player, I don't know whether you do that. Can just call him like, yo, you know what you do, like you understand what the coach is. You know, you understand what the coach is saying.
Anderson to Caicedo?
Yes. Why can't he do it? He's older than him. He has more experience. He has won Premiership. He has won Champions League. He has trophies to talk about. And he has played in teams that have won. So it's not like he hasn't done that. He has been there, he has done that, he has seen it. So these players, Chelsea's core of players right now would definitely be what starting. We have that midfield of Cole Palmer. Caicedo,
Mhm.
Enzo, Lavia. So those are the four that will probably be fighting for the starting spot. Then we have
Central. You're talking about
yes,
central.
the central. They are central.
Right.
I'm not talking about the wing or
You
whatever.
didn't call your new $200 million signing.
He's not
Morgan
the
Rogers.
Rogers.
He might
He's
play. He
part of
might
that
play left
central.
wing. He might play left wing or whatever he wants to. He might play the left wing. Then they'll play double 10. Then they pull him into a double 10. That's what they've been doing in the preseason. If you watch the preseason, you start up as the wing. Then he brings you to double 10. Then the two wingers go up. Then it forms like a front 6 or front 5 in front. So that's how they're playing. So I can put him. You can play left. You can play this. So let's just say we can. Okay, 5 of them. Let's just put him in there. 5.
Mhm.
So tell me, of all those players, who are better than, is Anderson better than them? No, he's not. But is he more experienced than all of them combined together? Yes. Has he played more games than all of them combined together in Premier League? Yes. So that means he has the experience. So all he's going to do there is just be there, calm-headed. If people are doing stupid things, you are there, yo, this is what you're meant to be doing. And that's all you need. You get what I mean?
I mean,
Because I can't go, no, 1 second. Chelsea can't go and buy Bruno Graham, like Bruno that you guys bought, right? That is 28, 29, because he's at the peak of his career. And he is not going to be rocking bench. He doesn't want to rock in the bench. You might start getting frustrated with the manager. Okay, why is manager not playing me? Why will you bring me to this club to play? Like when you have players like Caicedo that are already there, or have player like Enzo Fernandez, or have player like Cole Palmer that are already there.
So quick question. If because one of the issues that Chelsea had last season was red cards, discipline,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And this comes down to, I blame it on coach man management skills and
And the players.
individual temperament, right?
Yes.
Now, let's say Enzo gets a red card, which is rare. I don't think he gets that much in Chelsea, right? Caicedo does. So let's say Caicedo gets a red card against, you have Leeds today. You pick up a red card, right? So your next game is Arsenal. And then you're in 2 games time, you play Man City. So that means between Arsenal and Man City, let's say you have Wigan in the middle. But you know that a straight red card is how many match ban? 3 match ban?
Yeah. I think it's
right?
2.
It's
2 match
Is
ban.
it
So
2?
that means,
yeah, I think 2.
yeah, so that means Caicedo is out, right?
Okay.
And then that game, you're playing Wigan, Enzo picks up a red card or a suspension. So that means Caicedo is still out, and then now Enzo is out, and then you're playing Man City next. Who are you going to start?
So by the time we're playing Man City, Caicedo is back.
No, that's the last suspension date. I'm just
That's
making
the last suspension. So we
yeah.
do have.
So that
we
means
still
you're
have
out. You're
players.
out. Your Enzo and Caicedo are out against
Okay.
Man City. Who are you
Okay.
going to start?
So we still have Lavia. Lavia is still there. Fake Lavia is still there.
And who else?
And now we can even play the Anderson because now he
Do you
doesn't have.
understand? Do you understand why?
So now it boils down to the coach. We have to see how the coach wants to use these players. So I can't be in the coach's mind. This is just us as fans, like speculating how he wants to use them. And you can also tell that this is Alonso's hand in this transfer. You can't tell me Alonso
So
is
why
not.
I ask you that parameter
Okay.
is, how are you fixing one of your biggest issue last
Is
season?
the red cards.
To me, why I think Chelsea fell off was inconsistency of your top players being available, especially in big games.
So,
and half of it was due to disciplinary issues, and the other half was injuries. Right?
Now I would correct you quickly. In all the big games Chelsea played, we pulled our punches except from Arsenal for one reason. We did pull our punches.
Did you pull a punch against Man City?
They did, yeah. They win.
Yes. But look at our
they-
score with Man City. It's either 1-0 or 2-0 or 2-1. Like we always play ball with Man City.
What was
your
last meeting against Man City? What was it?
Was it not?
I think we beat
Man City
1-0.
was
3-0.
beat them.
It was
That the
3-0.
Yeah. It was 3-0.
But what
yeah.
It was 3-0.
but what I'm trying to, but we still balled. Like if you watch the game, we did play. But it's just unfortunate that when you have players like Alan that will always do the unthinkable, they will always call you.
So
what I'm trying to say is that
what do you think
Chelsea's
your major issue last season was?
So there are two things that I saw Chelsea's problem. Now that we're talking about Chelsea, there are two things that I saw Chelsea's problem: discipline issues, and lack of concentration against smaller teams. You can lose against. You can't
say lack of concentration against smaller teams. You can't say
check
that.
it. Check some
Was
of
that why
our
you
because
lost? Was that what cost you a lot of points against smaller teams?
yes, we'll be leading smaller teams. Like we can be leading, for example, we had a match against Fulham. We're leading 2-1. Then all of a sudden they scored one. They scored second one. Then last minute they scored.
That comes down to me when I look at that kind of statistics, I would say is your poor management skills from your coach. It has something to do with lack of concentration from the team.
But it's also the players on the field.
Yeah, but also that's why, regardless of the players on the field, the manager needs to be able to look at the game and adjust the game the way he needs to make sure that
Know
he
when
either
to close out. Know when to close it out.
the game,
Yeah.
or if he's like, you know what, I don't care at this point. I'm gonna go for the jugular, and then be like, you know what, Rodri out, Haaland going. I want 3 strikers up there. Just go finish this guy. You know what I mean? So I think you guys somewhere. I will not say you guys didn't have the players. You guys did, because every player is important, whether they're bad, good, or not. You know, I think you guys had the players. I think Maresca just didn't make the right calls whenever he needed.
Thank you.
And that is one main reason why I am skeptical of him coming to City. I've always been skeptical of that. That main thing, him looking at the game, making the right changes, switching whatever tactically that he needs to from his end as the manager. And I feel like with you guys, what you guys struggled throughout that whole season, it was that. He just never made the right call.
And also, you could also see that Maresca was slightly stubborn with his style of play. He knew things were wrong, certain things.
Some managers are like that.
I know, but that makes you different from a manager that knows how to evolve or knows how to manage a team, because then you know your weaknesses and work towards it. You can't tell me that you know that your goalkeeper has been making an error and you kept playing him consistently when you know that this guy is making an error from passing from the back. He's like, you know what? Just boot it. You hear in the interview, what did he say? He's like, oh, I'm the coach. He needs to listen to what I say. Even if he's making a mistake, keep playing that ball from the back. I'm like, for now, let him put it out. You get what I mean, Napo? As you said, it also falls out to the coach. And rightfully, Ken, that is why the coach is no longer in Chelsea.
Yeah, but you brought in another coach.
But you also have to remember, Maresca is not just any kind of coach. He came from City, went to Leicester, brought them back to the Prem, came to you guys and gave you guys trophies. So he's not like the Amorim. I'm so sorry.
Don't be.
I don't know why he's saying it is. But it is what it is. That man should never be allowed in the Prem ever in his. I don't care how many Champions Leagues Amorim wins.
I think he needs to come back to Man U, and I think he needs to come back to Man U.
Why do you say that?
I mean, because I think he has an unfinished business, and he needs to.
He's not a manager worth of the caliber of the Prem.
That's not true.
I mean, are you not impressed? Are you not impressed with AC Milan setup against you guys?
No, see,
let me tell you something. Sorry.
Let me tell you something.
Make a break something down to you, right?
Yeah.
Look at. I will start with the most basic and the most simplest thing. Every player that Amorim sold, they all sold or loaned, they all went to succeed. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you tell me. And the only reason why I use that word is because the players that you said were not good, the players that you said are not good, that they couldn't do this, they couldn't do that, they're a problem. Those players succeeded.
Like who?
You just could not make it work.
No.
But you didn't know how to go about it.
Sancho win conference.
Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, man, for us to understand certain things, it didn't work out. I'm a United fan. Actually, I'm one of the very few United fans who will tell you this. Amorim was never the problem at Man United.
I agree.
problem at Man United has always been from the very, very top. And I'm sorry, I was telling I have another group where we discuss soccer with a few boys, and I told them I hope we United fans wouldn't call for Michael Carrick's sack again this season. Before that
It's
man
going to
came,
happen.
before that man came to the Premier League, he first of all told them, "Yo, look, man,
Yeah, at the back.
I don't want to come mid-season, man. You guys can't get me at the end of the season. Say now or never. Man United, he came. And if you look at the contract, what they promised him, he didn't live up to expectation. He told them, "This is what I want." He showed them his plan. He presented his plan.
Who are you referring to? Carrick?
Amorim. No, Amorim.
okay,
Amorim
okay.
presented his
Uh-huh.
plan to the board. But those board never backed him. Look, if you look at the statement that he made that led up to his sack, it was quite evident. He was like, "I wasn't brought here to coach these players. I was brought here to manage them." That statement is indicative of that. Yo, man, the board and themselves are not fucking playing their role. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. You know, because that's what made them pissed off, man. That's what made them pissed off. And the next day, after he made that statement, they fired him. The agreement was that if Amorim is coming in, because at the end of the day, I'm also kind of disappointed in Man United players, man. To be honest,
You think they sabotaged? They sabotaged them?
They did because Man United players in that system. That's why even for Chelsea, these Chelsea players, I don't think you guys are your players. You guys have that the caliber of players to play that system. That three at the back.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
That
I
three at
beg
the
to
back
differ.
really.
I think Chelsea has always been good.
It is a really aggressive type of football. When I watched his team beat City 2 seasons ago, 4-1, 2024. The type of football when you play three at the back, you essentially need those wing backs.
You choke the midfield.
Yeah, you choke the midfield. You need those wing backs themselves to be very energetic. That's why you see with him, he wasn't playing Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw, who is a traditional left back. Luke Shaw couldn't play that wing back position because he couldn't go back and forth. Yeah. And there were certain players that we needed to be able to accommodate that system, to feed that system. And at the end of the day, what really threw me off in terms of sabotage with the players is that those players, when I watched Man United play under Amorim, it was quite evident that those players were going to let him down. Because at the end of the day, Man United players were not doing the basic in football. Even running, we could not run to track back. Those boys could not run. Rashford, that's why we consider Rashford them as bad eggs. All those guys, we don't want you anymore. We're going. But,
there's one thing that separates every single manager in football.
Yes.
Being able to switch system.
No. That's not true. Hold on. When people bring up this argument, I have something to tell them.
Hold on 1 second. It's man management. And the reason why I use that word man management, there's tactics. Do you believe that every single manager has always had every player they wanted? No. Fact?
Yes.
But what does a good manager do? He creates that
tweaks
player.
things up a little bit. Yes.
He creates that player. He creates that system. He adapts to it.
Right.
What Amorim didn't do, none of it.
He didn't adapt.
Because like you said, hold on. Like you said,
what do you mean he didn't adapt?
Don't forget.
Give me instances, man.
Don't forget. You guys had Dogu, right? You brought in Dogu
to Arteta with Aubameyang. We have the same problem that Napo is trying to explain to you.
Brother,
let Napo finish.
Why are you going too far? Look at Man City. Who is playing our right back? A Cam. Don't forget, a Cam is playing our right back. And guess what? He's been the best right back in the league for 2 years in a row. Do you see what I'm saying? That's someone that was playing attacking midfield.
Who is the right back?
Matheus Nunes.
1 season, Pep
moved him.
Best right back for 2 seasons in a row?
Just last season. Just last
season. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Season in a row.
He's better than a fit Julian Timber.
It's not about a fit Julian Timber. We're talking about stats on
productivity.
Yes, at this particular time and the system
not who was injured, who was not injured. We're talking about all the games played, assists, pass percentage, all of
Sorry,
that.
don't mind me. I was trying to banter you a little bit, but go on.
See, it's fine. The best right back in the league for 2 years in a row is that man. But like I said, he was never a right back. Even when Pep went in an interview, what did Pep say? He's not smart enough to play as a cam. Someone that has been playing cam his entire life. You see what I'm saying? Amorim doesn't have what it takes to coach in the Prem. The Prem is for the elite.
That's not true.
That's not true.
I don't agree. Why will you? That's a
Wait,
blanket
let him
statement.
finish.
You know,
Let him finish, then you can rebuttal. Let him finish. Kachi, hold on, let him
I'm
finish.
saying that because the time Amorim had at Man U, he had every possibility to make whatever adjustments needed from his end, not from the club, from his end, to make things work, and he did it. He wanted the money. You haven't earned that command to walk into Manchester United. Manchester United, let's forget that
It's a big club, it's a big shoe.
it's a big. They have.
You need to be a big.
You're not gonna
personality.
walk in there
Yeah.
and say, "Give me this, give me that." Carry can. Why? Because he came in the short time he had. He got the job done. The same players Amorim had. Guess what Carey did? Took them to Champions League.
From
Amorim didn't do that.
From 17.
Exactly my point. So
okay, can I jump in now?
Yes, sorry, just two seconds, real quick. And that's why I said that man, he is not worth the Prem. The Prem is for the elite.
No.
He doesn't. He's
not.
He's
not.
Ken, 1 second. Ken. Wait. Let the Man U fan talk. You are asked now. Just you
go
guys
ahead. Go ahead.
Are league
Go ahead,
champions, so you don't need to
Well,
get into this conversation. Just sit down there and
at the end of the day, you know, if hearing you guys talk, I'm also feeling like you guys are absorbing some of the non-negative behaviors of these players. You know, for example, Man United knew what they were getting before they went for Amorim. You cannot invite if I'm vegan, I only feed on vegan diets, and you're bringing meat to me. What the fuck? You know, I don't do meat. So why are you taking me to a meat fest? I'm vegan. I told you I'm vegan. Are you expecting me to eat meat? What do you want me to do about that? You know, Man United knew what they were getting into when they went for Amorim. They knew. He showed them he showed them the vision. To repair Man United is not something that a manager would come in and fix one time. You know, we had to see for Man United to be where they are right now. We definitely had to get rid of the risks of the likes of Rashford, the Højlunds, the Anthonys, the Sanchos. You know, so people even forget that. Because I know if it were Carrick could have embraced those players.
He would have used them.
But he felt that those players, maybe they were toxic. They were not good enough for him. But I think it's quite unfair on his part for you to come out and say that he doesn't have what it takes to coach in the Premier League. Think about look at the story of Arteta. People forget that, you know, this guy's also a young manager, so I would call him some slack. He has a lot to learn. And I know this Man United's job must have learned a thing or two, you know, managing the big league, big professional football where a lot is expected from you, you know. But let's take a look at the story. Look at Arteta's trajectory. You know, look at how Arteta came in to Arsenal. That guy finished 8th position back to back, losing to Chelsea in a fucking humiliating 4-1 defeat in Budapest. I still remember watching
cut Arteta some slack though.
Yeah.
He didn't finish back to back. He took over from
Well, you know,
I think it was half season, right?
Half season.
And we were in relegation when he took over.
Yeah,
so cut some slack.
We're not relegation, right?
But he replicated that position.
He forgot that we started our season. Chelsea pumped us, and then I think we went to another team, and then
City
one
or something.
Leeds. No, a small team. Leeds pumped us, and then we had
back to back.
2 games. We had 19 to the table.
19. Yeah, but like, I mean, you know, so I think for Amorim, you know, I'm of the strong opinion that if, you know, this is me talking, it is my personal statement, okay? I feel like if we had let Amorim stay the whole of last season, we would have still made Champions League football. I strongly believe.
Lie.
No,
The players
Hold
would
on,
have had no choice
brother.
but to adapt to the system.
No.
Do you know?
Listen.
Do you know? Napo, hold on. Do you know when your season changed? Do you know when your season changed?
After our boys came back from the African Cup of Nations.
No.
That's when our season changed.
Your season changed when you played Manchester City and won that game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go and check your record against Carrick. You drew when he came in. He didn't win his first game.
He drew Burnley.
But he played City. Everybody thought that game was a walkover.
Yeah.
Right? I remember that day I played a parlay. I said Man City win and over 1.5. Some people said Man City win and over 2.5. And guess what happened? Man, you went there and played one of the best football in their whole life. Right?
Yep.
And guess what happened? You took that confidence, came to the Emirates where nobody goes there to win. And what happened? You pulled it off.
You know,
That
you know why that happened? You know why that happened?
This is 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, you beat Man City.
You know why that happened? You know why that happened?
This
is my own way I see it.
I don't think Carrick did anything
players,
different. It's just confidence.
No. Those players, they had no choice because the world would have seen those players as failures, which they were under their first manager. So they had no choice than to sit up and be like, hey guys, you know, this guy that we think is fucking shit up for us is gone because those players are good enough. We've seen it.
Let's not set up and show what
exactly. Let's
it's like a Temi, what do you call it? New manager bounce.
New manager, exactly.
But it's not just the new manager bounce, bro. I'm telling you, man management, bro. You see the difference. I'm telling you. You know, Kachi.
I don't agree.
Mark my words.
I don't agree. I don't agree. You saying, okay,
guys,
what could he have done?
All of
what
us
could he
are
have done?
here, right? Hold on, real quick. All of us are here, right? Watch AC Milan this season and tell me if Amorim doesn't change. I'm telling you, he will change.
We learned a lot from
no,
United.
No, what do you think he's going to change?
Telling you,
he's going to get better. He's going to evolve. Definitely, he's still a young manager. He's going to evolve.
It's not just tactic. It's not about tactic evolving. I'm talking about his man management skills is going to shoot off the roof because when he came to United, he didn't have it.
Right.
And
that's right. That's true.
That point of man management is what makes a difference because you see a manager like Pep, he walks into a team and he starts telling players, hey, this, that. You see a manager like Arteta now. If Arteta was to leave Arsenal and goes to a different team, he has what it takes.
I don't like when you guys talk about managers and you call Pep. Can you exclude that guy? Exclude that man with all due respect. You know why? No, on the most serious note, you know why I said exclude him? This man came from Barcelona. He won in Barcelona. Went to Bayern. Won in Bayern. If Pep goes to any team, that team worships him. He detects terms for that team. It's different from the likes of Amorim. Amorim don't have no pedigree. Arteta has no pedigree. If you are Klopp, right? That's his name. You are Klopp. If he walks into any team, he detects terms. People like Mourinho's, Ancelotti's, they detect what the club will give them. The club will tell them what you need to succeed.
Yeah.
Right? And they give it to them.
At the end of the day,
because they have a pedigree, they have a background, and they're like they'll put their resume on the table.
You also boils down to some of these players.
So stop calling
they just didn't respect that man. You know, when and he also going down to man management too. He was also very poor.
I disagree with the man management.
He was also poor.
He coached Sporting.
He was also poor at making substitutions too. You know, but
it's all the pressure. It's all the pressure that comes with managing.
These are things that a young man. He's only 40 years. Ronaldo is older than that guy. You know, he's a young manager. He has a lot to learn. 20 years from now, we're still going to see that guy keep managing if he continues like this.
And he'll get better.
He'll get better. So he's still a young manager. So cut him some slack in that aspect. Napo, he's only
okay. Napo, what would you talk about the Chelsea lecturer? The one they signed before the end of the season.
Right.
Which one?
Exactly.
He didn't have
how many lecturers do you know?
He's African European.
You're talking of the Rosinha.
Liam.
I wanted to say
Liam
something.
boy.
I wanted to say something about the Chelsea factory. I like how Nathaniel brought that. Doesn't think that Chelsea will play good in it. I also
Or
wanted
is
to
that your
point
new?
out.
No,
Is
no,
that your
I
new
didn't. I
tactics
didn't
now?
say it's
Is that
catching.
your new tactics now under?
Oh yeah,
I was the one that
Kachi
said
said
it.
it.
Yeah.
Is that your
I
new
don't
If you
tactics
think you
want,
under?
guys are gonna
Yeah.
do well in
Manager
that system,
let me
Alonso?
man.
finish.
Temi.
Yes. And I'll tell you the reason why I feel like we might actually do well in it because he actually bought the players that wants to play that he wants to play that system. You know, we have two different wing backs now. You know that, right?
What are they? What are their names?
Gusto.
Alonso, no, I'm talking new. Pelastro, what his name is?
Mm.
Alonso
That's
Pelestra.
That's right.
Pelestra. And then
Mhm.
we have the one Pep Xaviera or something. So we just bought a new wing back
Mhm.
that will play that kind of style he wants. And
So
don't forget, we also have
how many midfielders
Lacroix.
across?
We also have
No, how many
Lacroix.
midfielders across? Is 4, right?
So what he's going to play is he's going to play
3-4-2.
3,
Mhm.
4.
So
2.
mention your 3 backs. Mention your 3
So
backs.
the three back that I see that he might play is Colwell on the
Mhm.
left hand side. In the
Mhm.
middle, we'll have Lacroix
Mhm.
from Crystal Palace. And if you
I
are
don't
being
forget
honest,
still, I don't stand that guy.
if you have forgotten to be honest that he has been playing back 3 at Crystal Palace, so you have to see that
No,
he
no,
was
let,
so.
go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
I
Napo,
think
don't cut
I
him short.
think
Let him
Lacroix,
mention that
I
3
think
back.
Lacroix
No,
also played 3 back at Wolfsburg too. Was it
Yeah.
Wolfsburg he came from?
I think so too. So he's a 3 back person.
Let him
Fofana.
continue his.
Fofana.
So Fofana, Lacroix, and Cahill.
Yes.
3 back.
Now
Okay.
this is now
Go
where
to your midfield. Yeah. Go
so
your
the
midfield.
midfield, what he has done is that Palestra guy can play both left and right. If you know, he can use both left and right foot wonderfully without any problem. 1 second. He can use both his
No,
left and
just call
So
what
let's
your
say
potential
so what I've
midfield
seen
will be.
so far, with what he has done is the Palestra guy plays left.
Mm-hmm.
He now plays a wing back of Neto. Before Rhys James came, Rhys James just actually played one game last game that Napoleon won.
Said it again.
So he plays Neto.
Mm-hmm. On where?
Instead of Rhys James on
Instead
the
of Rhys
right.
James on the right,
On the
right
right.
wing back,
And then the left wing back is who?
and Palestra guy.
Okay. So you're left
Now-
with two central.
Now we go there. It's either Enzo Caicedo or Caicedo Lavia or any of the mix that he feels like he wants to use on that day.
On that middle.
Yes, that middle that will hold the base.
Okay.
And now what one would do is that Palestra guy goes up front to the wing, then Caicedo drops back. If you watch all the Chelsea preseason, Caicedo just back again to make for final spread to this thing. Then Neto goes up.
So the two that are left is gonna be who?
The two that are left in what sense? So now
You've called your midfield.
We
So
do have
Palmer.
we do have Rogers, Palmer.
And then your
the
striker
front.
was
Then the front is Joao Pedro.
No, you have 2 players left. So
no now.
you've called 4. You've called 4.
I give you 4 at the back.
It's
4 at the back.
3-4-3. 3-4-3.
Yeah.
3-4-3.
So
Yes,
okay, so your three
Yes,
is
front is
Rogers, Palmer,
Jazz,
and
Joao Pedro. Yeah.
and Joao
Okay.
Pedro.
Joao Pedro.
So what happens to Esteval?
So why
you go,
he's
you
still
go-
young
you
now.
go
You
ask,
but you have to ask if you it's like Pep. If
No,
you don't
I'm
perform-
asking you as a Chelsea
so my
fan.
question as a Chelsea fan,
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you the truth. Like, yes, he's a good player. He's a good
But it's
player.
not good
And they
enough to
say,
start.
brother, if you can't
Not
cut it in the
3-4-3 style.
formation, if you can't play that
No. I'm
formation,
asking you
let me finish.
based
If you can't
on
play
what
the
you saw last
formation,
season.
he can't play. He can't defend. He's not a defensive player. And
Okay,
if you
so
watch him,
you are
if
okay
you watch him,
sacrificing him on the bench.
brother, if he wins you trophy, brother, sacrifice anybody in that Chelsea squad.
but
I'm
also,
sorry.
right, Ken,
Okay.
despite what view that you may have of that, right, there's also a positive aspect of that because Esteval coming off the bench, that energy, that speed,
Yes.
let's say 60, 70th minute, when everyone is tired, he can still sprint down that lane or be like a free roaming, depending on how Alonso plays, right? So there's, in as much as we may not see it, there's also that positive side of it. And I think
He's young.
that's how he actually, he's young, but that's how he actually started coming up. He came off the bench, had a few good games
Good games.
before he eventually started playing as a starter.
Then
So
he now had that
it might
injury.
work
Now had
out.
injury that was gone. That he was gone for
Yeah.
a bit too. And you're forgetting he's 17 or 18. So he still
Let me
has
ask
time
you.
to
Let me
grow.
ask you one. Let me ask you one question as a Chelsea
Okay.
fan,
Okay.
right? And you have to be very honest with yourself,
All
right?
right.
How confident are you
This season, I am
with
confident
your
that
layout, with the layout you just scored going forward? How confident do you think you?
I'm confident. I'm actually confident because I'll tell you why I'm confident is
Okay.
beginning of our preseason, it was shaky because Alonso was playing back four. In the last few games that we've won,
Mhm.
he has switched to a back three. And you can see the fluidity and the movement. At least someone watched one of our games today. Man City Q. He watched one of our games today. And he saw what Alonso was building. He saw that Chelsea have moved from that because Chelsea has not been the team that plays, oh, let's hold the ball too much. We play vertical, we
Right.
move the ball, bam, push that ball forward. And that is what we played. We played that in our last game yesterday. And Napo saw it.
Real Sociedad?
Yes, Napo saw it.
Yeah.
We played
It
the
was.
same thing against AC
I'm
Milan.
not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It was shocking to watch. I'm not even
Yes.
gonna lie.
Even me as a
I
Chelsea
was
fan,
like, wait. Now Chelsea they play ball like this. Oh wow, that's interesting.
like the
Not
previous
gonna lie.
managers we've had, they've come with that mindset of like, let's hold the ball, let's pass it. Then before you pass it to the left, let's pass it to the right. Let's try and break team. Brother, look at the last goal that João Pedro
Temi,
scored.
man. Temi might tell
Let
you
me
something.
finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. You can rebuttal me. You can rebuttal me. You can rebuttal me. I'm sure you probably say, oh, this is just your yarn that blah 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 blah. The season will still end up where it's going to be, brother. This is a new manager. First of all, we need to give him time. I'm not saying I want him to win Prem. If he wins Prem, I will accept it. If he doesn't win it, as long as he gets us back to the Champions League, he needs to build up this team. He has new players that have come in, and I think as Alonso, if I'm being honest, we'll pick Alonso over Amorim anyway. So that's another side of the topic.
Temi, I'm only gonna tell you because I have these three at the back. Only my United fan will tell you the reality of these three at the back. For Premier
Tell us,
so,
League,
not
it will
really,
escape
though.
us.
you.
Tell
No,
us.
Chelsea has always
Premier-
performed in back
Not
three.
really,
But
though.
let's
And
face
that's
it.
We played
not
Arsenal.
the players.
Arsenal played back three, and it was successful.
See,
Arsenal
I tell you.
Yeah,
Under
under Arteta, under Emery and under
Temi,
Arteta. Yeah,
I just want you to know that in a back
You didn't
three
know?
formation,
Don't worry, we'll come back.
formation, you also need like really, really technically gifted three center backs. Those three center backs has to be very, very mobile. Their mobility has to be top.
So the three
The only
center
mobile
backs
player I
are
see
they not
there,
mobile?
Lacrosse is going to be in the middle of those two. But those two, Colwill and who's the other guy, Colwill and Fofana, I think they're
Right.
shaky. If you ask me, I don't think
Colwill
Colwill and
no
Fofana
fucking
as
way.
the left center back and
You
the
know
right
what?
center back. Because one thing people don't understand with the formation Chelsea are about to adopt in the Premier League, a good manager can always counteract you guys. You guys are going to be left exposed in counter attacks.
Most especially if the players that are playing on the white are
On the white,
fast
aren't fast,
and
exactly.
they know how to dribble.
So
Exactly.
So
yes,
it can be
And you know,
rewarding.
with the three,
I get
the three at the back, they play triangle. It's zonal, so they tend to occupy different sections in the football pitch. So
Right.
I don't know how that's going to work out for you guys, man. But good luck, man.
I like how you keep saying that like Man U, we should learn from Man U that Man U have been playing
watch a lot of Man U games,
let me
man.
finish. The reason why I'll tell you the reason why we can't learn from Man U is that Chelsea has had two managers or three managers that have played three and the back and has been
But
successful.
not with these players, Temi. What do you mean?
He said the reason why we cannot learn from Man U.
Brother, we can't learn from Man U. No.
The system is different, bro. The Victor
So
Victor Moses
from an outside,
and
we're outside. Are you saying he should learn from Man U, and he's saying you shouldn't learn from Man U?
So
because relatively speaking, your players are not better than what we have. You know,
Wow.
No. I'm asking, what is your point to him?
You know
is
what?
It that they should learn from Man U?
We should have an episode where we will sit down and pound for
And just
pound.
talk about
we'll call
Man
players.
U.
Yes, we'll call players. We'll start calling players and pick them out one by one and see who is better. You're saying Man U. You say Man U players are what? Better than Chelsea players.
I don't. No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying learn from them.
No. He just said it. You didn't probably hear it.
He
just said it's like
he gets what I mean. Ken understands where I'm coming from.
Yeah, he said he learned from them. That's
Learn
what he
from
says.
them. That's what I'm
He's not
saying.
saying pound for pound. Yeah.
I'm not saying. Go ahead. You do. Go
Pound for
ahead.
pound. So what I'm trying to
But
say
you guys,
is that Chelsea has been successful with back three. From
No, man. Temi is not
Alonso,
the same
but-
let me finish.
players.
From Alonso
Temi,
to I know it's not the same play. I know it's not the same player. But you also have to put that culture also factors into a team that understands how to play back three.
No,
Victor
Temi.
Moses. I like how you call Victor Moses. I like how you call Victor Moses.
Philosophy.
you know,
I like how you call Victor Moses.
philosophy.
When Napoleon, I finish now. I did Banter with him. So you know he called Victor Moses. When Victor Moses was in Chelsea, he was a winger. Let's be honest. He was a winger that was converted to a wing back. And I'm
Right.
sure when he was converted, most people were like, what's it called? Conte doing? Like, why is he converting a winger that can't defend? But what did he
But
do?
it was his physicality.
And Nathaniel, if you're wondering,
Exactly.
if you're
Thank
wondering,
you. Neto
Nathaniel, if
doesn't
you're
have
wondering,
that physicality.
that was when Arsenal played back three. We were playing with Chelsea.
It was his physicality.
that was
though.
It was his
Remember?
physicality.
Yeah,
Victor
yeah.
Moses was a
if
big,
you
fast
look at-
guy.
Yes. So
This is about me. I'm not a
Alonso.
but I just told you we
Alonso and
just
Victor
bought two
Moses.
new wing. We just bought two wing backs.
Less injury prone.
Exactly.
This current Chelsea team.
Na
bunch
Pedro
of
Neto.
hooligans.
Na Pedro Neto
Bunch
go
of
go play
hooligans.
right wing back. Oh.
So now you guys are just talking as if no Chelsea
I
didn't
think
buy
we're
players.
directing this thing a lot, and that's what I've been trying to jump into say, like what Temi is saying. History plays an effect. A three at the back club, they've won trophies playing three at the back on
One
different
second, I can't
occasions
hear
with
you.
different manager. It's
Yeah.
not the same players, yes, but like again, I think we have not really even seen this new set of players that Alonso have brought in Cook, where we really don't know
We
yet.
don't know. Yeah.
We really don't know. But
That's why I asked him
yeah,
the setup. Yeah. But to me, I don't know.
we really don't know. But
Yeah.
from what I'm hearing from the ratings I see and what is going on, it seems like there's a system in place with how they are playing with that three at the back.
But
that-
you can't say that either. It's one game.
I no. They played it
But
on
it's
two
not
different
one
occasions.
game.
Not one
It's not-
game though. They played
not
it on
the
different
same.
occasions.
So before Resources that, who did you play? Before Resources that?
They
did
played
you
at
play?
AC Milan.
AC Milan and they beat them 3-0 with three at the back. They beat them 3-0 with three at the back as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and AC Milan wiped United 4-2. So like,
But I'm
Mhm.
sorry to ask though, this is not out of ignorance, but Alonso played 4 at the back at Real Madrid. Why are Chelsea?
but that's the thing. He did not have any other option than
That
to play
option. He
4
started at
at
3,
Real
but he
Madrid.
couldn't
It's
do
a
it.
culture thing. That's why I've been supporting your take on Amorim with the way Napo was saying how Amorim is useless. Because United historically is not a 3 at the back.
Back
club.
three. Yeah.
You know
true.
what you're getting as a manager. They should have
True.
never gone for Amorim. It did not
Mhm.
make any sense. And that's why
His,
I was
his
all
philosophy did not match the
it
club
did not
philosophy.
match.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, he sat you guys down. You know the system this guy plays. And you
Exactly.
decided to get him without giving him the tools. Rashford
work
is
with
not
it,
going to
yeah.
work in a back three. Sancho is not
Right.
going to work in a back three. Anthony is not working in a back three. You
Mhm.
need specific profile of players
To fit
that
that.
really
Yeah.
do not exist when you play 3 at the back. You're not having
Right.
Rashford do graveyard shifts, sprinting on the wings. That's why Amorim did not want. It's not a hard worker. You're not going to get the players to do that.
You know what my fear is with Chelsea, right? Chelsea is a very difficult team to play against,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
They are very good defensively, and they are very dangerous going forward.
Counter.
Counter.
But I know what back three brings because, like I told you, Unai played it in Arsenal, and when he played it, we were not winning, right? But we were not conceding.
Conceding, yeah. That's what Tuchel
Right.
did. Tuchel came
That is
in.
what back
That's
three
what he
gives
did.
you. It gives you
That's-
solidity.
Yeah, that's what Tuchel did. That's what
If
I'm
you-
saying.
Yeah,
I'm
if you
not
take that
counting
philosophy
it
and put in Chelsea, this Chelsea
Yeah.
that I know, it's gonna be difficult
Yeah,
to bring
that's
them
what I'm
down.
saying. That's why I'm not counting it off, and I'm saying like a little bit.
If he pulls it off,
Yeah.
it's gonna be difficult.
Yeah, because
Like,
like
that's
this
what what I keep saying is that people keep forgetting that. Another thing is that if you're a Man U coach, I'm not going to even slander Man U. You know that Man U is always meant for counter attack. If
The
they counter attack you,
transition
you are done.
transition,
Transition team.
Yeah.
Any coach you
yeah.
are bringing to Man U has to play transition football because it's in their
Right.
culture.
It's the
Everyone knows
culture.
that.
Yeah.
That's why he worked for. That's why Mourinho kind of worked there because Mourinho kind of played transition, defend and transition ball. That's how he scored his goals.
Mhm.
So now when you now put the back three, it's like changing the foundation from the root. Like you're uprooting the tree from the root. But
Yeah.
Chelsea are already used to back three. France are not going to complain.
Yeah, at all.
Because you also
I
have to
mean,
forget. You also have to forget that France also play a factor to complaining when players are playing like back three. Like, what are you guys doing now? It's not fun. It's not the kind of football. Like, boo, we want free flowing.
yeah.
Chelsea played back. Like, remember that match against Arsenal, where Arsenal wiped Conte. Then Alonso was at the field when you're doing back three. That was when Conte switched to back three, and from there Chelsea won the league.
Chelsea,
Remember?
yeah. I remember.
He started with back four. Tuchel came to Chelsea. He started with back four too. Rudiger was
Lost.
trash. We always used to complain that Rudiger was trash. He turned to back three. Rudiger became a top player. Madrid bought him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to also understand that we might also say, well, Chelsea don't have the players, don't have the caliber of players. But if they play that back three, you might actually now see talent that you didn't know Chelsea had.
Exactly. And that's why I'm saying I don't want to write it off, because the season when Chelsea was doing shit, everyone was like, these guys don't have the players. And Tuchel comes in with the same players. He wins the Champions League. He starts winning games. There's solidity at the back with the back three. So again, it goes back to what you were talking about, that all the coaches that have come to Chelsea have tried to change the system immediately with possession-based ball. If it's not really in the DNA of the club like that, it's very hard. The only way you change it is if the manager and the fans are willing to give the manager time to build. And that's why Arteta, under the way we play, Arsenal has always known our identity is tiki-taka football. We pass the ball, we move into space. For years.
That's why Unai struggled in Arsenal.
That's why Unai struggled. Because Unai
tried to change
came
the system.
and immediately tried to change it.
Well, Arsenal is not a defensive
Arteta is smart. Arteta came in, stuck with a back at the back, became solid, was still playing attacking football, and then as the years kept on going by, he changed it to taking control in the midfield
of the game,
and being solid at the back. You're not just going to come and enter a club and immediately something that's not in their DNA completely change. It does not work like that. That's why.
And then Napo, you remember towards this season that just passed, even Arsenal fans were noticing that Arsenal's style of play was changing a little bit. You notice, so we have a culture, we have a DNA, right? When you rock that DNA, it's going to be evident.
It's so fun.
The only thing that saves you is you become successful.
If you win, because
if you fail,
it won't.
Because
the only reason that Star fans are not complaining now is because you won the league. Yeah. If you had chosen this league,
his head would have been on his spike.
Right? Would have been over.
I bet you if Chelsea was playing the around football that Arteta was playing, Chelsea fans would not complain.
You will not complain because that's what you're used to. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what you're used to. You're used to that
gave us around football, like play rugged football, fight.
Yeah.
But you get what I mean? But Arsenal have always been that thing that everyone knew, like, yo, these guys will walk you to the bone. They can tick-tack kill you. Like, what the hell? You can't even touch ball before you know they scored the goal. But then Arteta came. He's like, no, we're not going to tick-tack you. We'll hold the ball. Come and collect it. Or you hold the ball and you can keep it. We'll hold our line. Come and give us the ball. You get what I mean?
At one point, even Pep played the three at the back. He quickly realized that that was
against Arsenal at Emirates. That was the first time he abandoned position football and played every guy behind the ball.
My God, that was hilarious.
So it was so shocking that even Arteta was clueless. Remember that game against?
It's the one
Arteta was clueless. He didn't know, he wanted Man City to come out so that we can counter you guys. But the Man City was sitting out there. He was like, "What's going on here?"
So Kachi, you get what I'm trying to say, right? Like I understand where you say that the back three will not work in Prem, but ultimately I do believe that Chelsea has that good history of back three in their DNA, and it might work. So what I would say is, like, let's give Alonso time.
Temi, you should understand where this man is coming from. That's why I was laughing when both of you were talking. This man has been traumatized.
No, man, because at the end of the day, I look at those Chelsea players.
I don't think any man wants to hear back three.
I look at those Chelsea players and I'm like, no big car.
So which players are you really? You're worried about? Which players are you worried about?
All of them.
Like, I mean, even your wing backs. The Palestra guy, I haven't seen him, to be honest. I'll keep an
He
eye
was
on
the
him
best.
this
He was the
season.
best. He was the best in
Preseason.
Serie A. Serie A. He was their
It,
best.
it
Yes, he won the best player.
makes you ask yourself one question. How soon is Chelsea going to abandon the three at the back?
Yeah, that's a question, question
So
of the
now
year,
the
man.
question of the year
For
was the
Christmas?
question. The funny
Hold
thing.
on, hold on.
I like that question. Why I like the question. When Xabi Alonso started this preseason, right? Baba was doing stronger than playing back four. If you look at some of our preseason, we're chopping
saw.
beating.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
chopping beating. Fans were like, yo, we didn't come here to be chopping beating. Then that AC Milan game, I switch it to back three immediately. Bam, we pop AC Milan. AC Milan didn't even know what to do. They didn't even know where ball was coming from. And who else again? We played Real Sociedad.
I'm not even Inter by that time.
Yes, now.
Kachi,
I don't know what
I just the ask.
Kachi, I want to answer your question. How
Yeah.
soon? Or was it Napoleon that said, how soon would Chelsea abandon the back three?
Yeah.
Let's
Uh-huh.
do the statistics. So opening match, you're playing Brighton at home. And then you come to Emirates the next week. And then you play Hull at home.
We'll do match
You play
predictions now.
Brentford away, right? And then you play Bournemouth, Everton. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think your match against my bet is your match against Nottingham. You're not going to play back.
no. Why will we play?
We can go side bet on that.
So you think we'll play?
So what I'm saying is I'm giving Alonso 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
games.
Premier League games.
But that's the
Then
thing.
you
That's
switch to a
what
back
I
four.
was trying to say, though. The back four is where the issue is. It's rather him starting with a back four and then ending up to switch it to a back three.
So a back three.
I don't see the back three being like.
I'm saying by that 6 Premier League games, Temi
Back
will not
three
be
is
able to
out of
tell.
the question
Temi will not be
anymore.
Temi will not be able to tell which formation is coming in.
So, but that's one thing. But that's one thing I like.
Bro.
Okay. So
Do
you're
you know
trying
the
to
only
say that
thing?
if we play,
The one thing I would say that
I know for sure that you're going to play back three
back
against
three.
Arsenal. I know, 100%. You're going to play back three. You know why?
Yeah.
You want to crash that
Crash
midfield.
the midfield, yeah, 100%.
Your gameplay will be. You're not coming to win us now, but you're not going to give us space to play.
Space, yeah. He's going to play that way for all the big games, like the
all the big games. He's going to play back.
Definitely going to play three at the
then
back.
I can see him try to do the experiment in the small games to see if he can try to get these players to
Why?
make up.
Why? But why? Against Hull City, why are you playing back three?
So now the question is, from what I've heard from Alonso and the scouts and whatever the people around him, is like he wants to be able to be fluid in the way he plays. Like he can start at back four, then mid game switch to back three, switch back to back four, because now he catches the team 1 hour. Like, okay, what are they playing right now? Oh, there's the back four. You get what I mean, right? So I think what will happen is continuously you will see games where Chelsea play back four, they end up with a back three, or a back three that end up with a back four. Because we do have the calibers of players that can bring on. And you also know that now we have 5 subs. So it's easier for you to switch that kind of formation mid-game and it to just change fluidly. It's not like back there, you can't I have to start with the back three first, then I have to switch to a back four down the line, maybe towards the 50th minute. You can start with back three in first half. Second half, you switch 5 or 3 players in and you switch into a back four. So that's why I feel like that is what I think Chelsea might do this season. But honestly,
the thing
what
that
I
will
would
happen
do
to you
is
guys is your injury problems for in that part. That's one thing I agree. Like Reece James cannot stay fit to save his life. And what has been helping Reece James is the back four that you people have been playing and then put him into midfield.
But then technically it turns into a back three.
And then it turns into a back three. Yeah. Like that injury crisis. And then Fofana just came back recently. Cole just came from a long-term injury. So there's going to be a lot of factors. I think if there's anything that makes it not succeed is injuries. That's in my own view. Because again, like you guys are just a back three club, and anytime you've been on back three, you've been an irritating club to play. So that's where my fear is.
At the end of the day, it's too soon to tell anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
The only reason why I said that question is because of what we all know about the Premier League. The Premier League, first day can look like the most easiest game, and then the next 5 games is like
the hardest
get
game.
him out of the club.
exactly. So I think for every new manager, we're talking about Man City, we're talking about Chelsea. You guys have not even talked about
Liverpool.
Liverpool, Ariola. So
That's another topic.
there's so much that we all need to see as fans of the game, and we all make our, adjustments or our thought process and analysis and all of that. But what I would say is the first 5 games of this season is going to be interesting because all these new managers that are coming to all these big teams, and Ariola left Bournemouth in good standing. Who is taking over Bournemouth? How good are they were undefeated? I think they were undefeated right before he left.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
16
Like
games or
his
so.
last 18 games, something like that. So there is so much to see in the Prem,
Yes.
and I mean, I'm excited to be there.
Napoleon, bust your brain. Guess who's Chelsea is playing first this season on
Who?
Monday? Fulham. And
Oh
guess who
God.
Fulham's coach is?
And he just, I think he was pushing for one of the guys in Madrid to join him in Fulham.
Yes,
I think
yes.
It's
Lloris
like a
went to like
Gonzalo, this thing. He joined.
Gonzalo.
Yes.
Yeah, bro.
So
I mean,
Wait,
there's
he said who is Fulham's coach again?
Albiol, Raul Albiol.
I'll be
Oh,
off Madrid, yeah.
Yeah, from Real Madrid.
for Real Madrid.
yeah,
So
but I mean, it's a
So
London
now
derby now.
I like
It's a
I like how
London
you
derby.
talk.
Regardless
I
of,
like how you
regardless of
say.
who is, it's gonna be a difficult game.
I think Prem this season is going to be very, very interesting and beautiful because I think we have 8 or 11 new managers. If you are
yeah,
looking at it, 11 or bruh, that means anybody, we don't even know what to expect. So like you can say, oh, this team have been playing this way, except from the standard team right now, which is Arsenal, because we already know what Arsenal is going to play. And we
We
don't
don't do.
know.
No,
No,
we
let me
don't
finish.
do.
Let me finish. We already know what we expect from you guys. Either we fight in the corner, you fight in the box to get the ball for corner, or you guys play beautiful football. So one of the two is going to probably happen next season. And maybe if Prem should decide to like cancel the rules of fighting, like if you just start pushing anybody, they just blow the whistle and it goes to the goalkeeper gets the ball. It will be interesting to see what the new rules are going to be when it comes to the corner. Because the corner did not work in the World Cup. They tried to start it. FIFA shut that thing down. It's like, no, we're not playing this game in this World Cup. Like if you do any rough or try to block keeper's ball immediately, which made the
Yeah,
game
but
in World
I
Cup.
don't know why I see in your eye. I see some shades. You're throwing a shade to Arsenal. Arsenal didn't have the highest corner foul thing in Premier League. It was Liverpool.
I didn't throw
I keep
any shade.
correcting you. I don't know why you're stressing this corner thing like it's a
no, but the
you're
thing
trying to
is
pass
that
a message.
the thing
Look at
is
Liverpool. Go and look at Liverpool.
Liverpool had those numbers, but the reason why everybody is calling Arsenal is because
We scored more.
Liverpool, yeah, you guys scored more, but also Liverpool was trash all season. And Arsenal were, they were sitting at the top. So it made more sense to
To
point
look up.
fingers at
Why am I
Arsenal.
looking down? Why am I looking
How
down?
about this?
I'm looking
How
up.
about this? How about this? When next we play, you guys come out and play football.
We played
If
you
you want to
guys now.
if you want to sit, Man City is man enough to
Oh, are
come
you
out
talking
and
of
play
Man
us.
City? Are you talking of Man City?
Apart from Man City, no Premier League team came out to play Arsenal. They want
Chelsea
to sit behind the. No, you did not. You sat behind the ball.
Nathaniel, let me talk to
Chelsea did
Nathaniel.
at Stamford Bridge, or that one. That one.
Thank you.
With 10
Papa,
men,
listen to this.
10 men,
Listen to
they
this.
flogged us. I can't.
Okay, and then what happened after that?
And then Emirates, we beat them 2-1.
What was the statistic of that game?
I can't even remember. But
KG, you forgot that this guy used a striker as a what's it called, as a winger. You forgotten the lecturer. What did he play?
Well, that is him now. But now you're using.
No, I'm not saying. You see, you're saying that is him. My point is, you set up your team negative against Arsenal. Don't tell me that that's his style. But
that is how we play. Maresca, when Maresca was playing you guys, we played normal. We went toe to toes with you guys.
No. Maresca played.
You guys were
Pep.
all pragmatic.
Maresca played Pep. He played negative football. He played
Standard.
PSG. He played negative football. There is no big team that Maresca faced that he came out to play expressive football. It was all sit behind the ball.
You're talking of the game that we won
counter
PSG
and then score
in the Club World Cup. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was defensive. The same
You call
game
it
we
defensive,
watched.
I call it negative. You call it
How
defensive,
was
I call
that?
it negative
Nathaniel, how
football.
was that negative?
Now you see why. Now you
Uh-huh.
see why I don't want Maresca in Man
No, no, no,
City
no, no.
because
I know,
No,
I
no,
know,
no,
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 no, no,
no.
no, no,
Why
no, no.
I'll make
But I want to get
an exception? Why I'll make an exception to Maresca in Man City is because he is now playing in an elite set of players.
stop that nonsense, I beg.
Right?
hey,
He's playing.
hold
He's
on.
still going to. He's still going to play anything he wants to play. But
Compared
I said
to
because
no disrespect to Chelsea,
So
Man City squad is better than your team.
no, it's
you
obvious.
are
But doesn't he's still the coach. He has to decide the formation he wants to play,
But
and the
we
formation is
sat
comfortable
here.
playing.
But we sat here for an hour and we talked about philosophy. Man City, the profile of players that are in Man City
they
are
don't-
not defensive.
They're attacking players.
They are attacking, hungry players.
Okay.
Pep specifically bought those players to suit that style of gameplay. So
But now
it would be
that's why it's a
disastrous
new.
for
That's why
Maresca to go and
Napo.
be playing.
That is why Napo is saying that he is scared of the type of player and type of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Maresca is
I'm
going to
making an
bring.
exception. That's why I said I'm making an exception to him.
You can't
because
make an
he's now in
exception
a
to you
team.
seeing him. That's why I keep telling Napo, like, see,
I've seen
you know,
him. I've seen him in preseason. He's not playing any defensive. They're playing at
Napo,
his
is he
aggressive.
playing?
no, he's not. Preseason, it's even if go watch Atletico Madrid game.
Well, what are we even talking about? We're not too far. We'll watch it in a couple of hours. We'll see what was going to happen in a couple of hours.
No, I'm serious.
Because we're playing Community Shield.
Yes, but the reason why it's not just because Man City won. It's because Atletico Madrid is haram ball. We all know that. But go watch that game. Man
And by the
City
way,
versus
Man U,
Atletico Madrid.
Community Shield is a shield that champions, Premier League winners and FA Cup winners come together. It's like, just in case you've forgotten what Community Shield is. I was just reminding you.
Now-
We don't play am
Let's
He get my no memory. He get my no memory.
all right, boys.
Now where would they win trophy?
So
Okay.
the next for the next 15 minutes, right? We just need to focus briefly on the FA and the Community Shield, Arsenal versus Man City before we round up our episode. So we'll start with Nathaniel. What are you expecting from this game, and who do you think? And I also want you to give me your prediction at the end because we will come back. We'll come back again and talk about it. So I need your prediction. And now, when I'm talking about this, I need you to just talk like what you think is going to happen, what you're expecting, and whatnot. So Nathaniel, I'll start with you.
I will be lying to you if I tell you I know what I'm expecting, to be very honest. Like, this is the first time in a long time you've asked me anything about Arsenal. Like, I don't know what to expect this season because I've watched the preseason games and nothing really has changed from the few, like in terms of our attacking fluidity. So I genuinely do not know what to expect in this game. Especially, the reason it's also worse for me is because I've not watched City play under Maresca, so I don't know how they are going to approach the game well. So it makes it difficult. But from the few things I've seen, I've watched City's highlights and against and knowing Maresca, how Maresca plays, I think we are going to dominate the game in terms of the midfield. It's not going to be like a Pep situation where Pep will have the ability to dominate us, like, because it's just Pep. I don't think Maresca is that kind of person that will be able to coach those guys to dominate our midfield. We will take the midfield from them. The question is, what are we going to do with the ball? It's just what I cannot answer yet because, like, again, players are coming back from preseason, like Bruno G, Rice, all these guys are trying to get game time. I don't know how much they're going to play. So it just depends. What are we going to do in attack? That front three is worrying me. Like, so what I would say is because of how maybe rusty people will be, I would say 3-2 to Arsenal.
3-2, Nathaniel 3-2. All right, I'll go with Kachi. What do you have to say about the
Just so
Community
you
Shield?
guys know, Arsenal fans, when I started watching football, everybody around me was an Arsenal fan. So I've always had a soft spot for Arsenal. But this year and recent years, the fans are too, Oyibo people will come and say, you guys are too vociferous. They talk, one fight. Arsenal fans are too loud. They are too pompous. See this Dr. Kes, see the way he's smiling. Very pompous guy.
They see brother there.
Pompous. So I don't know. And also with Man City, Man City, when the stakes are high against Arsenal, Man City always delivers historically. They
Mm.
are they are one of Arsenal's kryptonites. So I don't know. To be honest, I don't know what to expect from that game. I'll be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if anything happens. But I'll give it
Yeah.
to Man City 2-1.
2-1 Man City. All right, Dr. Ken.
I would stick with what Nathaniel said. Because I watched all Arsenal's preseason games, and to be honest with you, people will say it's preseason, but preseason is what you're showing me that you want to do, right?
Right. Right.
And if I'm seeing the same old system, then I'm not convinced that you went through 38 games and a couple of games in other cups, right? And you can look at the problem you have in your club and say, yes. Preseason is where you fix those problems. Try one or two things, fix it, right?
Experiment.
Preseason is also where you build confidence. When you win all these little games, it breeds confidence in the team, right? When I look at Arsenal setup, even though I haven't watched Man City and what Maresca is building there, because I'm solely focusing on what my team is doing, I'm not convinced,
Yeah.
right? And like Nathaniel said, he has zero confidence in Gokores leading the line. I also have zero confidence in Gokores leading the line. And it comes down to two factors, right? Is he creating enough chances? That's one way to look at it. And another way to look at it is he making the right runs for these creative players to find him? Because let's be honest, we dragged Odegaard almost the entire season. I cut him some slack because he was injured. But then we saw Odegaard at the World Cup. We saw how he was linking up play with Haaland. That was one of the reasons I watched Norway. I wanted to see what Odegaard and Haaland is going to do. And it was magical, right? But don't forget, Haaland and Gokores are two different profiles. When you look at how Haaland moves, he moves like he's telling you, don't give it to me. Don't give it to me. Wait for my body language. Wait for my signal. And then when he moves, the ball is there, right? Gokores is forcing it. And he's making runs like zigzag, right? When it comes to a team like Man City, right? This game we're going to play now, I will give Arsenal the edge only if there's one player that is not going to be on that starting lineup for Man City, and
Rodri.
it's Rodri.
Yeah. Rodri.
I am not scared of Haaland,
Yeah. It's just
right? Especially against, as long as Gabriel is on that lineup, I am not scared of Haaland. I will tell you that for a fact,
Haaland
right?
don't smoke on that shot.
The reason,
Yeah.
no. So people make
Even in
jokes
World,
and
even in
say,
World Cup,
no.
even in World
So
Cup, he still
I'll
dunks on
correct
it.
that. People always make jokes that Haaland dunks on it, but if you go and ask even Haaland, I'll pull up, I'll share you guys some interviews that Haaland said after that match, right? The most difficult defender that Haaland has ever faced, he said it was Gabriel, and it's not because he doesn't dunk on him like people say. They make jokes when he gets the better of him or he scores, but at the end of the day, he recognizes game. He knows this is a warrior.
Yeah.
This is one defender that, yes, for the 90 minutes, as long as I'm on this field, he's going to tear my skin if I don't bite back, right? So the only issue I'm going to have is this guy's partner in crime is not going to be there. So a little bit of confidence will be questioned there when it comes to partnering with Mosquera. I don't trust Mosquera. I'm sorry, right? So when you pair Gabriel and Mosquera, it's like or Gabriel and Nkapi. It's like a disaster that is just cooking, waiting to happen, right? But if Rodri is not on that lineup tomorrow, no matter what Maresca is trying to do, I think we'll have the edge.
All right. What's your score?
My prediction will be it's going to be tight. So I will say it goes probably to extra time, penalties maybe, and maybe 1-0 if there's going to be a scoreline, maybe 1-0 or 2-1. But I'm hoping it goes all the way to penalties.
Okay, yeah, hoping penalties. I'll just put PK down for you. All right. Man City Q.
I'll start by saying a couple of things. So if you look at Man City, like how Ken said before, Man City has a lot of, it's like they're stat padding players, basically. Not like stats, but more of like players. They have a lot of good players that can play in every other position. Being able to sell Tijani Rangers says a lot of what Man City wants to do this season. they're trying to restructure our main problem. And also the same thing like how Kate said, preseason is the moment where you see a lot of change. You try certain things. Even you, Temi, said that. And I think that makes a big statement. Now we brought in Anderson. We're trying to bring in Boadi, who's a younger, the newer generation, and we still have Rodri. I don't think saying that I'm not scared of Haaland is the right thing to say because keep in mind that's the Golden Boot winner. This man, since he came to the Prem, he's won it every year. So he has the way to make a change in the game. But because that's like you're discarding him and saying that, okay, yes, he's good, but it's fine. I'm more worried about more people. Haaland is one player. You don't know what you will get with Haaland because of how good he is. He might get in, play, and don't do nothing, but he might get in and score archery. So that's the kind of player he is. But this is what I would say. I think even though I have a lot of reservations about Maresca and I'm not a fan of him, what I saw what Maresca did with Chelsea, he has better players in a lot of the different positions. I think that Man City is going to win the game. Is it going to be easy? No, not entirely, because obviously it's Arsenal. But I think Man City is going to win the game. I think I'm going to go for 2-0. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. I haven't seen a lot. I haven't seen a lot that will make me feel or make me say, oh yeah, Man City's hands down we're going to win. No, it's very questionable on both sides, from Man City side and from Arsenal side. But when I watched the way we played against Atletico Madrid, knowing that they are a haram team, it gives me hope that there is beauty in what is to come at Man City. And then, of all people, Mamouche, 2 goals, of all people. So there's a lot to take out of it. There's a lot to take out of it.
So
It's new change, and I think it's a good thing.
so you are thinking 2-0.
Yes.
So
For Man City.
Fauzi sent his prediction and he was going for 3-1.
In favor of who?
Arsenal. He's in favor of Arsenal. So I think
Now,
in my own
brothers.
opinion, I don't know who to pick. Like I think it can go either way depending on who plays better on that day. But ultimately, I think I will have to stick with Arteta, not just because I feel like Arteta is better than Maresca or Maresca is better than Arteta, but I feel like Arteta has had time with this team for a bit more than Maresca, and that is an advantage on its own. And I feel like the team will actually know what Arteta wants in a game, and when he's given instruction, they'll know. And let's just say Arteta changes something, and Maresca reacts to it, and he's trying to change it on the fly. There's a possibility that the players might make one or two mistakes that might lead to a goal or something, right? And that's what I think. That's my own opinion. It's not like, oh, it might be a match that Maresca is better than Arteta kind of still. Maresca played for Chelsea, and I can tell you, he understood how to play big games. So for me, I will go with the edge for Arsenal and probably be a 2-1. And the 2-1 is going to be a very, very close to 1. It's not going to be like, oh my God, Arsenal beats the guys 2-1. Like, oh, that's the end of the world. It'll be like, oh, it's a very close one. That like, if Allah had scored that goal, or if I know Rodri is not playing, if this person have done that pass, that would have changed the whole story. That is the story we'll probably have to be talking on our next podcast. That should have happened.
I want to ask you guys that are having so much confidence in Arsenal scoring 2 goals, 3-1. Who are the people? Who are the goal scorers?
It's a prediction. It can come from anybody. It can come from corners. It can come from anybody. It doesn't have to be.
He said corner again. This guy said corner again.
Bro, let's be honest. Arsenal can just come with a new corner tactics that will catch Man City off guard and they win the 2 games, or score 2 goals and just do a ram. And Man City struggle to score and score only 1 goal and it ends. So things can happen. Arsenal just has that team right now that understand what the coach wants and need. So you don't have so many new players or new coach system or a new system being forced into this player that you're like, oh, I don't know how to tiki-taka the ball. You know how, for example, before we round up this show, You know, as example, when Maresca started with Chelsea and he started forcing Sanchez to play from the back and Sanchez started making mistakes.
Yeah.
It was because
Right.
it was a new coach. But
Mhm.
you are not going to have that from Raya because Raya has played your system for a bit, understands what Arteta wants, and know when Arteta wants you to play the ball out. And when I'm sure your
Now,
keeper,
Kepa, they start that match. That
Bro,
Kepa,
knowing you're saying it as a joke.
Kepa, they
Knowing
start
that
that
knowing
match.
Arteta might start
I'm
Kepa
telling
and
you.
then bench people like Guimaraes and then they just came back. They are working on
See,
fitness.
I know what this guy has done to me, man. Trust. I know what
so
this
yeah.
coach has done to
All
my
right,
brain.
all right. I would like to round up this episode. It was actually a really fun one, and yeah. As we wrap up today's episode, what do you guys think, our followers, about this episode, and who do you think is winning the Premier League, and which one of our hot take you think is crazy? Leave your opinions in the comments, and we'll be reading them on our next episode if possible. And if you enjoyed today's episode, hit the like button, subscribe, share the podcast to any other football fans, and thank you for my humble guests, Man City Q, Nathaniel, Kachi, and the doctor himself, Dr. Ken. We'll see you next week. Thank you for watching. Pass it, return it, debate it, and repeat it. We are out.